Umba factor and Tinubu's game-changing trip to Enugu. Growing concerns over Peter Obi's safety. Umahi inspects East-West Road. Others threatens revocation of delayed contracts. And that's it on this day. Let's move on now to what the Daily Trust has got as its headlines this morning. How Boko Haram's new strategy produced 60,000 child fighters, as according to the Chief of Defense Staff. 2 Sokoto doctors, 4 friends killed in auto crash. How Boko Haram killed 40 farmers in Borno, according to survivors. The writers right here say victims for mass burial today. Pursue attackers, Zulum tells military. Federal government confirms bird flu outbreak in Kanu. PDP crisis, Anyanwu resumes as secretary despite court order. Single-use textbooks. Parents allege racketeering in private schools. Scenes that cost Lagos Speaker his seat. Tax reform bills top agenda as National Assembly resumes today. And that's it on the Daily Trust.
Moving on now to the Guardian newspapers on the front page. To insulate judges' integrity from benevolent executive action. That is the first story you'd find on the front page of the Guardian. Conflict in Nigeria pushing more women into poverty, according to reports. CSO queries funding questionable allocations in 2025 budget with loans. Airstrikes follow strict protocols. Don't target civilians, according to the CDS. Full deregulation competition will reduce fuel prices, says report. 100 illegal immigrants arrested in Osun as government tightens security. 2027 SDP dismisses rumored alliance with Atiku El-Rufai. Tribunal orders 19.4 billion naira payment for breach of National Theatre contract. Tax reform, Labour pushes for deeper, wider engagement. Nigeria's oil production up by 152,000 in December, according to OPEC. Dated December, socialite proposes $500 tax on returning diasporans. NAS probes alleged 4 trillion naira loss to waivers by agencies. Lagos broadcast stations NLC protest non-payment of minimum wage. Boko Haram impregnating women to raise terrorists, according to CDS. Tax reform, Northern Coalition vows to mobilize against supporters, Lords Ndume. FG OK's 1,125 naira daily feeding allowance for correctional inmates. The question then is, will that be sufficient for daily needs? But you find more details on that story on the Guardian newspapers. Ohaneze Ikwere groups threaten protests over Mbata's emergence. 7 dead as fleeing bandits unleash terror on Nasarawa community. Just tragedy, father killed by son, Okada rider slain by thieves. Bauchi to vaccinate 2 million livestock as dogs bite 200 residents. NLC tasks state governors on CNG-powered buses deployment. And finally, on The Guardian, telcos to suspend USSD services in 2 weeks over 250 billion naira bank debts. These and more headlines you'd find on The Guardian newspapers this morning.
And our final stop is The Punch. It's got this major headline, inside story, how hubris, intrigues, power play sealed Obasa's fate. Deputy Speaker Miranda sworn in as Lagos' first female speaker. Sanwo-Olu claims innocence. Again, Boko Haram strikes in Borno, kills 40, abducts scores. Port rehabilitation delayed despite $700 million loan. Tariff hike, telcos, ICT firms, all banks, 1.69 trillion naira. Depots raise petrol price to 950 naira per litre. Coronation date fixed as Alaafin designate gets staff of office. Gospel singer arrested with severed core members' head in Nasarawa. Tax bills. Senate meets federal government team plans public hearing. That's a good place to leave it. Time to get to your reactions right now. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. When you get through on the phone line, please go straight to your point. You would have 60 seconds and show that you've moved away from your device once you get through. Give your name, your location, and let's talk. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Diki Itodo.
Welcome, sir.
I will utilize my 60 seconds very well. I want to talk about
Your name?
the Boko Haram.
What's your name?
My name is Salasi. Sorry. My name is Salasi.
Go ahead.
Boko Haram killed 40 farmers in Borno. I remember that time when Boko Haram killed about 47 farmers. I remember Garis Bashir who then say they didn't get permission to go farm before these people killed them. Now, still, they are still killing people in Borno. And about 7 people again dead in Nasarawa, where fleeing bandit, he killed them. So we are urging the government to do the needful about the insecurity. As I say, I will utilize my time very well. Today victims are yesterday's survivor. Tomorrow victims are today's survivor. It could be anyone out there listening to me. Government, do the needful when it comes to insecurity. Nagode.
Thank you. Good morning.
Are you there?
We can't seem to hear you, so we'll let you go. You get a chance to call back. Good morning.
Good morning, Itodo and the angelic Gabrielle.
Welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
It's very unfortunate the killing of the farmers in Maiduguri. For how long this Boko Haram insurgency will persist? Don't we have a formidable armed force with all the trainings and the retraining? Our generals are attending in the training in various military institutions across the world. So we don't know if Boko Haram gets the managed for political reasons. If there are foreign sponsors, why does the government go into negotiation with this? Why are they trying to continue destabilizing Nigeria and killing innocent civilians? For what purpose? There is an issue. There is something fishy under this situation of Boko Haram. It has persisted for long. For what reason? I don't know. It's from there is a military aspect of the it. There is a political factor about Boko Haram. People are getting richer at the essence of the life of innocent Nigeria. But one day, Motudo go market. We'll come back. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Good morning.
Good morning, Gabrielle.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Reverend.
Welcome. Good morning.
It's Prophet Michael Chiwoke. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
People, this life is in danger. You see, these gimmicks, as if Southeast will be favored in this government. Me, I don't buy it. I cannot buy it at all from the president. See, Southeasterners what is happening in Nigeria, I mean, in general, what is happening in Nigeria is not a good thing. Nigeria is growing, but people don't know. There is no way we will know what is happening to us if we don't trace it from the spiritual angle. Some days ago, I was telling somebody in radio, this platform, that I need a sponsor for this message to be known. The person is telling me that he doesn't have money. What a wicked thing to say.
No, hold on. Hold on. Come on.
Wow.
Talk to me. Let me hear.
Come on. I was going to say that people have a right to do what they want to do with their money, and if they cannot help you, that doesn't mean they're wicked.
What? No. I'm sorry. You can't call on the radio and begin to, insult a person who says he doesn't have money to help you. I'm not even sure how to classify that level of entitlement, in my opinion. That is just plain wrong.
Okay, let's go on to the live feed and take some of your thoughts. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. You can follow on those platforms and be a part of the conversation. Let's see what you are saying on Facebook, Mrs. Unma Labara.
She says, every austerity measure, belt tightening, sacrifice, every blame, every insinuation is directed towards the poor masses. And the masses, deaf, passionless, that must be used by any cent for selfish reasons. It's crystal clear that we must leave, for right is right and wrong is wrong. The cause of justice never fails, for God is God of all justice. And she sends this in from Owerri. And Benedict Mamvong is watching us live. Good morning. Comrade Aliyu Musa as well, watching us live on Facebook. Good morning and thank you for joining us. Oludade Abiodun says, good morning. Must Atiku rule as president? If Atiku loves Nigeria so much, let him support another candidate. Some people are the problem of Nigeria, and the tax reform is the way to go. Also, Francis Namani, watching us live from Amagunze in Enugu State, says the activities of bandits is in most of the countries and is becoming alarming, worrisome, and disturbing. The federal government should come up with proactive measures towards addressing the ugly situation. And this is from Nombilistic Nombility, who says the Nigerian economic crisis is anchored on the exchange rate hike and the petrol price. Okay. Also, Francis Namani says the president should use his veto power to address the issue of electricity tariff hike and the hike in other essential commodities to ameliorate the plight of Nigerians. Which way Nigeria is what he says. Mazu John Lasisi from Buhari says, may God deliver Nigeria from killings every single day. Matthew Okacha from Iduril Line says, okay. It says the politics of if you can't beat them, join them is killing the development in our country. Imagine the impeachment of the Lagos State Speaker over what they term controversial statements on his intention to run for the office of governor come 2027. Can't we do better in this country? Political parties' mode of operation is now likened to that of a secret cult. Which way Nigeria is what he says.
All right, let's get back to the phone lines and take some more of your thoughts. You can call in or send a WhatsApp message to do that. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you.
My name is Adela Victor from Disalaji.
You're welcome.
The speaker, the former speaker of Lagos State impeached. You see, he is one of the stumbling blocks on the way for their political ambition in 2027, and he has been given amboded treatment. You see, he's out of the way. And you see, the big boys in Lagos, the political heavyweights have taught him a big lesson. And I want to advise him, he should wash his back, because there will be a political turbulence now, monitoring all his movements, his meetings and his actions. So they have dealt with him, they self-acclaimed the political heavyweights. They are in Lagos, and they believe they own Lagos, and nobody can stand on their way. Then as for the problem in the north, all this insecurity, please, I want the army at least to clear this mess up once and for all, because it's becoming something that It's not conducive at all. It's shedding of blood. This fund is enough. Is enough. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Mrs. Omega.
Welcome. Good.
That's the voice.
Yes, go ahead.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Good morning.
You know, talking about single-use textbooks. What it means is, if I have a child in primary 2 and I have another primary 1, the one in primary 1 cannot use the books that my child in primary 2 use. So it means you discard it. And even if you say you should give it to those that cannot afford books, they only read it at home. They cannot take it to school. Do you know the implication? When we're growing up, you will meet books that your elder ones use for years. They will use newspaper to fold it and keep it for you. When I brought this during PTAs, like they had meeting before meeting, I didn't know. Parents did not support me. I said, I kept quiet. So I want to appeal to the government. If it's about the author, if there's any way we'll give grants, subsidize this so that they will be able to write, let us encourage them. But I don't think selling books should be part of ways that schools will make money. If not, why would my child, you buy books, thousands of naira, then another child cannot use it? Is books perishable again? I beg, we should look at what. When I raised it up, they were just looking at me like this as if I don't know how to speak the language I was speaking, and they are all complaining. Times are hard. We should find a way of making things easy.
All right.
Finally, a father killed his 14-year-old son because the boy is involved in stealing.
30 seconds.
Then, let's say a boyfriend, a boy killed a lady for one reason or the other. Siba, if you are destined to be great, don't fast forward it.
All right.
Allow God to bless you at the right
All
time.
right.
We are losing our value.
All right.
Don't ask people the source of their rich. All right.
Thank you
you.
very much. Now, this issue about the single-use textbooks, I mean, how often does the curriculum change that you have to buy a textbook for every new year? If you have a younger sibling or a cousin or somebody who you can hand that book over to, it would save a lot of cost and piling of unnecessary books that you read once and you cannot go back to.
Right.
So I feel it's important and it's great that the parents are starting to speak up, because back in the day, you could hand over your previously used textbooks to your siblings or those in lower classes and they can use it for years. But all of a sudden we saw that there's like a new edition that comes out every other year, and honestly there is absolutely no difference. Most times it's just the back cover that is changed and you have to buy a new book.
I mean, yeah, times have changed, really. You know, the way schools, the school system used to be has completely changed. You could find, and again, that is obviously because of the, introduction of different international curriculum. You find that there are schools that are, on the British calendar, there are schools that are on the American calendar.
Or a mix.
There are those that are, a mix of it, and every school is trying to, bring some kind of new
exclusivity,
exactly, so that their school kind of stands out, which makes sense. But it kind of takes away from, like you said, continuity when it comes to expenses for textbooks and there is no way to go from one school to the other or have your children, go through the same school and use the same textbooks. It's almost impossible right now, and that's because of the changing curriculum, the changing systems. I mean, we have a lot of authors right now for nursery and primary schools. It's overwhelming to find the number of authors that are out there. You have to actually go to the schools to realize that there are so many authors who write books. Maybe
ebooks are the way to go right now.
Ebooks,
yes, that would.
You'll still pay for them. They wouldn't be free, though.
But not as expensive as it would be, and a lot of piling on paperbacks.
We never know. Maybe that could be something to try out. We never know.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
This is Nigeria Info.